gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank Business World for inviting me again today. And especially I would like to thank Mr. Anurag Batra, Mr. Koshi, Harbinder, and I have the honor of welcoming Mr. S. Ravi, the chairman of TFCI, and of course my colleagues from the diagnostics industry, Sanjeev, Vashisht, and Anand. Thank you very much. So it's an honor to stand before you today as we delve into a subject that is both close to my heart and critical to the future of healthcare in India, evolution of the diagnostics industry or diagnostic sector, my journey. Diagnostics are responsible for more than 70% of all clinical decisions in modern evidence-based medicine. Over the past few decades, we have witnessed a remarkable evolution in this field, and I am proud to be a part of this journey. Today, as I stand before you as the executive chairman of Dr. Lal PathLabs, which is the oldest and the largest lab diagnostics chain in India. We are, by the way, 75 years old this year, and a household name when it comes to medical testing. Dr. Lal PathLabs today has a network of nearly 280 laboratories, 5,500 collection centers, and 11,000 pickup points in various hospitals, nursing homes, and other labs across 1,500 cities. Last year, we served nearly 3 crore patients, that is, serving approximately 1 lakh patients a day. The story of Dr. Lal PathLabs is deeply intertwined with my own personal journey. And for me, the battle to become a doctor began soon after the realization at the age of 15. May I have this first slide? Yeah, that's it. That in spite of being the best cadet in NCC Navy in modern school, which is just next door on Barakamba Road. Next slide, please. I could not join the National Defense Academy to become a fighter pilot in the Navy. Next slide, please. As I was found to be suffering from myopia or short-sightedness in my left eye, I did not have biology as a subject in the school, as I had the mistaken belief that by studying the alternative subject, which was geometrical drawing, I would be better able to chart the course of a ship, in this case, an aircraft carrier. I also had a cranky belief, and you're aware that boys, when they are growing up, they're not normal. On entering teens, and they can be very opinionated, that boys who studied biology were not men. I used to think that. And boys who studied arts were neither men nor women. So my long transformation from a man to a boy started in right earnest, and I truly hated studying botany. Next slide, please. My indifference to anything medical probably started when, as a little boy, I used to be foxed as to why my father would kill the rabbits that I loved playing with in our house that also had my father's pathology laboratory, not very far from here on Hanuman Road. This I learnt later, that the female rabbit was sacrificed for studying its ovaries after injecting it with a lady's urine for the only available pregnancy test at that time, known as a Friedman test. I took over the lab in the year 1977 after the untimely demise of my father. Next slide, please. Okay. At that time, I was a lecturer in pathology at the AFMC in Pune, where I was also the assistant warden of the boys' hostel. One more, please. Next, please. Yeah. When I joined my father's pathology practice, I had started to pride myself by believing that I knew everything that was needed to be known in pathology testing. You can imagine my disbelief, where on taking over the reins of the lab, I discovered the shortcuts and cutting of corners that were taking place in lab testing. So it was no surprise that my first couple of years in private practice were spent on carrying out many mundane laboratory chores manually, that is sourcing raw material from abroad, and imports were very, very difficult those days, making home-brewed reagents, pipetting dangerous radioactive material by mouth because there were no automatic pipettes those days, and surveying the market and installing sophisticated instruments. And thus started my indoctrination in the beautiful world of private pathology practice. I would like to share some key milestones that shaped the course of Dr. Lal PathLabs, and in the process also shaped the Indian diagnostics industry. The first game changer was our introduction of the maximum number of new tests in India at that time. Some of the examples are, way back in 1981, I introduced the thyroid test for the first time in a private lab in India. The only test for hepatitis B virus available at that time, namely hepatitis B surface antigen, was also introduced in a private lab by us. We coined the term lipid profile, where I introduced tests for HDL, LDL, VLDL cholesterol, along with the existing ones like cholesterol and triglycerides. Throughout our journey, we have continued to expand the list of diagnostic tests that we can offer to people in India. As a result, we now offer more than 5,000 different tests and panels, including several high-end tests for rare and complex diseases. Expanding the reach, or what you call scaling up. In 1982, I introduced franchising for the first time in healthcare in the world, with hub labs and franchisee-operated collection centers as spokes. Today, the entire diagnostic industry in India is operating on this model. Next, please. I stumbled upon the idea quite by accident when landlords would refuse to rent out even a small 200 square feet of space to me. They feared that once the collection center starts doing well, we might never leave, and they were right. Next, please. So I came up with a revenue sharing arrangement where the landlord helps us in running the collection center and gets a percentage of the revenue. Next, please. Coincidentally, this turned out to be known as franchising, which I had never heard before. Further evolving this model, we established our National Reference Lab in Delhi in 2010, which is Asia's, or was at that time, the biggest laboratory, which covered an area of nearly 85,000 square feet. Next, please. Next, please. Next, please. Next, please. And one more. Thank you. Since then, we have set up 3 more regional reference labs in Kolkata, Bangalore, and Mumbai to serve customers in more than 1,500 cities across the length and breadth of the country. Next, please. No, one back, please. Bringing high-end instruments and keeping abreast with technology was our next aim. I took upon myself to ensure that the Indian population had access to high-tech, accurate, automated analyzers and other cutting-edge technology. We introduced many auto-analyzers in the 1980s and 1990s, not only for the first time in India, but for the first time across Eastern Europe, Middle East, Africa, South and Southeast Asia, to enhance customer experience and improve quality of sample collection. In 1989, I brought to India a unique blood collection system known as vacuitainers, which completely changed the way blood is collected. Before that, we used to use only syringes and needles. I'm happy to share with you that the company I dealt with or introduced for this item in India, known as Becton Dickinson, now sells nearly 45 crore vacuitainers in India every year. Next, please. Next, please. That's it. That's what I'm holding in my hand. One back, please. Yeah. So we have the biggest histopathology center and kidney biopsy center in the world. The histopathology center processes up to 1,400 biopsies a day. And for kidney biopsies, we are the only private lab in South Asia to have 2 electron microscopes when 99% of the labs don't even have one. Next, please. That's what an electron microscope looks like. Keeping up with the advancements in diagnostics and medical science, we pioneered various high-end tests in India, including the next generation sequencing for cancers, chromosome interface profiling, and next-gen whole exome and clinical exome sequencing. Sophisticated image processing technology enhanced with AI. For example, we introduced BRCA1 and BRCA2 mutation drug testing for breast cancer. We have introduced robots to automate highly repetitive routine tasks to accelerate turnaround times and improve the overall quality of testing. We brought in total lab automation, or TLA, in our national reference lab and the regional hub labs. This was further supplemented with application of digital intelligence that enabled us to perform 4 times our normal workload with only half the staff available, especially during COVID. Our mantra is to practice what Anurag was also mentioning, quality control, what we call as total quality management, or TQM. That is, we strive to get each test right the first time and to get it right every time. And in this process, every sample goes through up to 50 quality checkpoints before a report is released. We have a record number of 36 labs accredited by the national body NABL and have 2 labs that are accredited internationally by the College of American Pathologists, known as CAP USA. The next milestone was digitization of the lab practice. Very early in my life, or in my practice, I realized the importance of digitizing our lab processes and records, and thus the first computerized laboratory information management system, or what we call LIMS, was created in India in 1986, that is 38 years ago by us. In 1999, we deployed the world's most prestigious G lab software, LIMS, known as Ultra. It gave us a bidirectional interface and provided connectivity with our remote labs and collection centers. Next slide, please. So this is how there was no optical fiber those days. I'm talking about the year 2000 or maybe 2001. And we are showing you 2 labs. On the left is our Agartala lab, and on the right is our hub lab, at that time in Hanuman Road. And we connected them via the INSAT 3C at that time. And the barcoded sample arrives in the analyzer in the Agartala lab. The barcode is read. The barcode is transmitted via the Indian satellite, received at the hub lab, at the host computer, which has already been upgraded with the patient's information, mainly the test order in this case. And the test order is sent back, and each cycle takes about 8 milliseconds, and the carousel of the analyzer in Agartala actually moves. So much before robotics came in, anything else came in, we were doing all this in the year 2000. We deployed the world's... So nowadays, IT forms the backbone of our entire operations, and therefore in 2012, we commissioned an IBM-designed and operated data center at our National Reference Lab in New Delhi, followed by installation of the most sophisticated LIMS called Star LIMS. We continue to invest heavily on digital technologies, and for our customers, we have moved to an omni-channel presence. They get the same quality services irrespective of whether they visit a collection center or book a test online and opt for home collection. It is pertinent to share with you all that during COVID pandemic, we did 10,000 home visit collections in one day. We are also pioneers in digital histopathology and have introduced artificial intelligence or AI-based solutions for breast cancer and prostate cancer diagnosis a few years ago. We've also deployed an AI and ML, that is machine learning-based recommendation engine, for hand-holding our customers suffering from non-communicable diseases or lifestyle diseases like diabetes, hypertension, cancers, kidney, liver, lung, strokes, etc. Apart from these technical milestones, there are some milestones on the management and the financial side also. In 2005, Westbridge Capital Partners acquired 26% stake in our business and infused 28 crores, another first in the Indian diagnostic sector. The same year, we also corporatized our business by hiring a COO and later setting up all the essential management functions. Next, please. Yeah. Yet another first for the diagnostic industry. We went public in 2015 and had one of the most successful IPO launches. Next, please. Our share price increased by more than 50% in a matter of minutes after the listing, and in less than 5 years became 4 times its original share price and market capitalization. Significant advancements in the field of medical diagnostics have been witnessed in the last 1 decade, and we are relentlessly working towards ensuring that India does not miss out on any of such developments. Dr. Lal PathLabs is committed to leading the next phase of evolution in diagnostics in India by integrating cutting-edge technology, expanding access to high-quality healthcare, and focusing on personalized and precision medicine. Through the adoption of advanced diagnostic tools such as molecular testing and AI-driven analytics, we are enhancing the accuracy and efficiency of diagnosis. Additionally, Dr. Lal PathLabs is broadening its reach across the Tier 3, Tier 4 cities and interiors, ensuring that even the most remote communities have access to world-class diagnostic services. By investing in research, innovation, and the continuous training of healthcare professionals, Dr. Lal PathLabs is shaping the future of diagnostics, making it more accessible, precise, and patient-centric. In conclusion, I would like to say that Dr. Lal PathLabs has come a long way, but our journey is far from over. There are 3 lakh odd labs operating in India, and the road ahead is not only without challenges. The evolution of diagnostic sector in India is a story of innovation, determination, and collaboration. While technology and innovation drive us forward, we must remain committed to ensuring that these advancements benefit all sections of society. Equitable access to high-quality diagnostics must be our guiding principle. We must continue to invest in education, training, and infrastructure to reach and serve the underserved. Thank you very much. Next slide, please.